After a dominating homestand, your Rangers spend the weekend in Chicago for a quick 3-game series with the White Sox. Riding a 4-game winning streak, the Rangers hope to continue their early season trends. Solid starting pitching, clutch hitting, and a bullpen capable of shutting the door. The weekend begins with Martin Perez making the start. From Chicago's South Side, your Rangers and the White Sox meet next on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball brought to you by AT&T High-Speed Internet. We're at U.S. Cellular Field in downtown Chicago. The Rangers and the White Sox. Game 1 of a 3-game weekend series on what tonight will be a very chilly and blustery night here on the south side of Chicago. Hello again, folks. Welcome in. Very much a pleasure to be with you today. I'm Dave Raymond with Tom Grieve. As we get ready for the Rangers and the White Sox. Rangers coming off a great 3-game sweep of the Houston Astros. Tonight, you know, this offense has been rolling tag. The man at the heart of this offense, Adrian Beltre, playing a special game for him tonight. Number 2,500 for him as a third baseman. And for Adrian Beltre, that puts him second all-time behind only Brooks Robinson. You see the numbers he's put up, closing in on 3,000 hits, the 4 Gold Gloves. And really, the thing about it, Tag, is he's doing all of it well.
He really is, Nate. You know, we've had the pleasure of watching him the last 5 years, and even though he's 37 years old, you really can't see any difference between him right now than you could see 5 years ago. He's probably playing defense as well, if not better, than any time over the last 5 years that he's been a Ranger. His agility has been great. His hands are tremendous. His arm is accurate and strong. You can't get a ball by him the first 2 weeks of the season. So defensively, there's no difference. Offensively, you would expect maybe his bat would slow down. That was a 96-mile-an-hour cutter from Garrett Richards that he hit out of the ballpark to dead center field. He's hit 3 home runs already. He powers the offense from the middle of the lineup. He's hitting over 300. The Rangers just signed him to a 2-year extension. He's well worth it, and the Rangers are glad to have him.
And no doubt, last 3 years, very slow starts for him in April and March. Not this year. He's off to a great start. We'll have more as we get ready for the the Rangers and the White Sox. Stay with us. More coming up in a moment. Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T high-speed internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Rangers, White Sox on a chilly night on the south side of Chicago. A couple of left-handers. Jose Quintana for the White Sox. As you see, Jeff Bannister chatting it up with the umpires. We'll have Juan Martin Perez when we come back. First of three against the White Sox as we take a look at the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers starting lineup today at 10 and 6. Delano DeShields looking to get it going again up at the top of the order. Elvis Andrus with his 8-game hitting streak batting second. Fielder Beltre Desmond in the middle. Mitch Moreland getting a start against the lefty. Ryan Rua in right field. Ned Odor at second base bats eighth. And then Brian Holiday doing the catching tonight for the Rangers. They'll be opposed by Jose Quintana.
Jose Quintana is, I think, one of the underrated pitchers in the American League. He's been very consistent the last 3 years. He's off to a good start this year. He keeps the ball in the ballpark. Does not give up many home runs. The other thing he does very well is a nice combination with that. He doesn't walk many. 3 or fewer walks in 116 career starts. He's thrown at least 200 innings in the last 3 years. He hasn't had an ERA above 3.51. He hasn't had a winning record because he's had some of the worst run support in the American League over the last 3 years. But he's an under-the-radar guy who I think is a top-of-the-rotation guy, a solid second or third starter who keeps the team in the ball. He keeps his team in the ball game, and he has to do that. The White Sox have been offensively challenged early, and some Ranger fans all bundled up for this ball game.
Yeah, you can tell the Rangers fans here, they're the only ones not wearing black. I mean, if you're a White Sox fan, you're dressed in black in this ballpark. It's a chilly one tonight, so folks bundling up with as much as they have. Let's take a look at the White Sox defensively behind Quintana, brought to you by T-Mobile. In the outfield, Melky Cabrera, With Austin Jackson in center. Adam Eaton, the diminutive right fielder. Todd Frazier, new to the team this year at third base. Saladino gets to start at short. Laurie at second. Abreu at first. We're ready to go as Navarro puts down the signs, and strike one gets us started tonight. Shields hitless in his last 10 at-bats. That's how he started this season. In between there, he's done pretty well to get the average to 268.
Quintana has a solid fastball. He'll reach the mid-90s, settles in around 92 probably. He has a good changeup, a good breaking ball. And as we've already mentioned, he throws a lot of strikes. He knows how to pitch. He's a tough guy to beat.
Good job by the Shields to work the count to his favor here. 3-1. 45 degrees at game time. So you're right, Tank. He said it might be a little chilly one for the hitters tonight. And indeed, 45 at the moment. Only going to get cooler as we move along tonight. And the Shields works his way aboard with a leadoff walk.
That's an unusual thing for Jose Quintana. This season's only walked 3 guys in 17 in the 3rd innings. He walks the leadoff hitter. And for the Rangers, when Delano walks, that's a good thing because the Rangers generally score when he gets on base to lead off the lead.
Well, Elvis Andrus, 8-game hitting streak.
Last year, Quintana walked less than 2 batters per 9 innings. So he had some of the best command control in the league last year. Unusual for him to walk the leadoff.
It's strike one on Andrus. By the way, batting second today. A little bit of a different look with this lineup tonight for Jeff Bannister.
I think with all this moving up, Danny's saying is, love the way you're swinging the bat. He's 4th in the American League in batting average, and he's kind of earned the opportunity to move to the top of the order against a left-handed pitcher. That's a little different against a righty.
Takes a breaking ball away. 1-1. And look, it's early. Any numbers we have for any of the players in this game are going to be subject to that small sample size. You see the 8-game hitting streak, but he's 5 for 8 against lefties this year. He's done some damage against him. Double and triple against left-handed pitching. So as you mentioned, swinging a hot bat in general, facing a left-hander. Seems like a likely kick, pick to click tonight kind of situation for Elvis Andrus.
And Quintana has been tough on left-hand hitters in his career, and tough on them this year. Lefties are only 2 for 17 against him this year. And so Rubnett, who is hit at the top of the lineup this year, he moves down against the tough lefty. Elvis has done well against him. He moves up.
A leadoff walk to get things started. Now a favorable 2-1 count to Andrus, and here it comes. He got him to chase. The Shields, you see with the pretty healthy lead over there at first base. Couple of steals this year, not going, and that's a strikeout of Andrus.
Elvis helped him out a little bit with the second strike, and then wasn't quite ready for the last one. He knew it was strike 3. So the catcher setting up outside. The pitch comes toward the inside part of the plate and actually catches the middle of the plate. I was just thinking, man, I wish I saw that one on the pitch before it.
Yeah. Alfonso Marquez, our plate umpire tonight. An outfielder for first lefty Quintana will face today, and he crowds him a little bit with ball one. Now, Fielder, you can see the average hasn't been there. One would suspect that he will heat up at some point here shortly, but boy, the RBIs have continued to come. He has executed in the spots when needed.
Well, he's done it in all different ways. He's done it with base hits. He's gotten ground balls with the infield back in a man at third. He's had sacrifice flies. When the time has come where there's been men in scoring position, he has gotten the job done. Last year, early in the year, he was one of the only Rangers with a high batting average. But where he's hitting, you can overlook the batting average and just look at the production. That's what you're looking for from Prince.
Oh, we got DeShields leaning. Abreu running him to second, eventually tags him out, and now 2 away with that caught stealing.
He's got a big lead, and he was definitely going. Quintana took a good look at him, sensed it, threw over there. Easy pickoff.
So base is empty now. And the 1-1 to Fielder. He'll shoot it foul over that third base side again. And this one, while potentially playable, not reachable by Todd Frazier, largely because he was playing near second base when the pitch was delivered. They have a big shift on against Fielder.
Yeah, that's one. If he was playing third, he could have been there waiting for it and caught it. But when you're on the dead run and the ball's coming down on top of the tarp, I don't know anyone that's going to run into that, except maybe the one Derek Jeter made 10 years ago. See where he starts off over near second base and the long sprint.
1-2, and this one bounced to that left side, and Frazier with a backhand pick, and it completes a scoreless top of the first inning. So the Rangers can't do anything with the leadoff walk, and now the White Sox to see what they can do against Martin Perez. First inning, White Sox now to come to bat. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. Adam Eaton in that top spot of the order, and he's been one of the few hitting the ball for the White Sox. Austin Jackson at center field. Jose Abreu, the dangerous first baseman. Todd Frazier at third base. Melky Cabrera, Brett Laurie at second base, bat sixth. And then it's Sands, Navarro, and Tyler Saladino, the shortstop, rounding out the White Sox lineup tonight.
And it'll be Martin Perez on the mound for the Rangers. Martin is 0-1, but he's pitched well. He's pitched at least 6 innings in all 3 of his starts. His last start was a solid start. Took a 5-1 lead in the 7th inning. Had a walk and a home run, and he was gone from that game. But it was a quality start. And the highlight of it really was his ability to throw a hard sinking fastball with movement and get swings and misses. He struck out 6 batters in that game, a lot of them with his fastball.
1-0 is shot into left field. Eaton is aboard to start the first inning for Chicago. Take a look at the Rangers defense, delivered to you by the Braunfels Convention and Visitors Bureau. And the outfield, Desmond, DeShields, and Rua from left to right. Beltre, 2,500 game at third base. Andrews, Odor, and Moreland at first, and Holiday doing the catching today for Martin Perez. Austin Jackson, right-handed batter, and he takes strike 1.
Yeah, one thing to look for here with a man on first base and less than 2 outs is the potential double play. Martin has induced 8 double plays this year in only 3 games. Gets a lot of ground balls.
1-1 on Jackson. You see the average of 170. And the White Sox, I mean, they have just been pitiful offensively this season. Still off to a 10-6 start. I mean, look at the last 9 games for Jackson. And there's that bouncer. This time to third. Beltre goes second. One of the relay is way off the line as Odor uncorked a wild one, and Jackson is on. But they do erase that lead runner.
That was a good job by Eaton. Even with the new rules, he was able to disrupt the play around the bag and keep it from being a double play with a hard hit smash. Adrian traps it. Accurate throw, but you can see Eaton slid into Rugned's legs. I'm not sure if that disrupted the throw. Looked like it did. Generally, you wouldn't expect the ball to be that far off target. Looked like a double play, but they get 1.
Now here comes Banny, and he may have a problem with that slider. Want to discuss that with Alfonso Marquez. Yeah, they're gonna take a look at this one.
Let's take another look. He's got a huge lead.
So you start to slide before you get to second base. You don't change your route, right? Which is
didn't look like it.
So far so good.
The only thing I could see, he slid past the bag.
Right. And if that's the case, if you can't stay on the bag, you can't stay in contact with the bag, then it's an illegal slide.
We get a good look at it. This has happened a couple of times this year. Not in Ranger games, so we're going to look at it. Okay. Under the old rules, that's about as clean and legal a slide as you could get. See if he goes by the bag. Slides in front of the bag. He's all over the bag, so he didn't change his route to the bag. Did he slide past the bag?
They said no. It was okay. Or at best, they didn't have a convincing enough look to overrule the initial call. You see that there's some of the verbiage with regard to the sliding rule. I mean, there's 4 conditions that you have to meet for it to be a bona fide slide.
That looked to me about as perfect a slide as you could make to try to disrupt the play without breaking the new rule. He went in hard, but he didn't veer from his path. I think after he slid slightly past the bag, he still was in contact with the bag. Might not matter really.
Potential another double play. Odor with a good flip, but can't get it to first in time. Andrews just didn't have an opportunity because Odor took a little extra time to wrestle that one to a stop.
Boy, talking about Martin with 8 double play grounders in 3 starts. He's had 2 of them right here, and Rangers couldn't quite convert them. This one looks like a tailor-made double play. It takes a hop, but it didn't look like it was that tough of a hop. for Rougned. And see how easy a double play it would have been. They almost got it anyway. Ball came up, kind of handcuffed him. He gets the throw to second. They get the lead runner.
So 2 gone. Now they have to deal with Todd Frazier. And as much as possible, you prefer not to have to do that with men on base. Frazier, 4 home runs, the 8 RBIs, and truly at this point in this season, the major offensive threat for the White Sox. They have struggled, though, the White Sox. We talk about their offensive numbers as a team. You see, he's come alive lately. They've scored 2 runs in the first inning this year. 2. That one hopped way up there on that third base side. That's 2-1. Frazier represents really one of the keystone pieces of the dismantling of the Cincinnati Reds, which began late last year. 6'3", 220-pound slugger. 35 homers last year for Cincinnati. It's 2-2. 29 home runs the year before. And the Todd Father, as he was known in Cincinnati. A very welcome addition in Chicago. 2-2 from Perez. Knuckle hit high in the air. Deep right center, but playable is Rua. This was underneath it, and the inning is over. A hit, and the man left. We played 1 scoreless inning. $35 tickets in the Cholula all-you-can-eat porch Monday through Wednesday when the Rangers take on the Yankees. Enjoy an all-you-can-eat buffet of your favorite ballpark food and a great view of the new left field video board while saving 34% on tickets. Use the online coupon code HUNGRY at texasrangers.com/specials to reserve your seat today. Scoreless as we go to the second. And Adrian Beltre starts things off. Quintana delivers low with ball 1. Beltre, 9th in the league with that .333 average now, and he smashes a base hit into left field.
Well, it seems like every swing he's taken in the last week has been a hard hit ball. came into the game at 333 after a terrific homestand.
I mentioned in the open, we were talking about the slow starts he's had in recent years. You're right. I mean, that ball's squared up. Last 3 years, though, he's hit right around 200 for the month of April.
I think in a couple of those Aprils, Dave, he probably wasn't entirely healthy. You never know with him because he'll never say he's not healthy. But he's had some leg issues. This spring, he's entirely healthy, and he looks exactly like he did the last 2 months of the season, when along with a terrific offense, along with Shin-Soo Choo, they helped carry the team to the pennant last year.
Desmond pops this one up. Playable for Laurie. Back of the bag. That's out number 1.
Over the last 50 or 60 games, he drove in at least a run per game. Combine that with Choo being on base. It was Choo he drove in most of the time. And Choo's on base percentage was about 450 the last couple of months. Everybody else chipped in as well, but those guys were especially hot.
In fact, you noted after that base hit to start the inning that it was, hard hit, and all of recently his contact has been very hard hit. That one left the bat at 99 miles per hour.
So it's pretty hard hit.
Yeah. Mitch Moreland.
I'm looking forward to getting those advanced metric numbers on a regular basis as they happen during the game. Eventually, that'll probably happen. But the one about 4 or 5 days ago was very interesting when Hicks was playing left field for the Yankees and threw a ball 105 miles an hour to the plate. I love to see those kind of things. The speed. We see the radar gun speed for the pitcher on every pitch. And I think eventually we'll see the speed of the ball off the bat every time a batter hits a ball, and that'll be fun to track. Be able to see possibly the speed of the catcher's throw to second base. And over time, all those numbers will start to mean something, and you'll know where players rank among the league leaders in those particular numbers. Who has the strongest outfielders on? Rather than it just being a matter of opinion based on what your eyes say, you're going to have radar gun speeds that will let you know for sure.
Moreland comes up empty, count 0-2. Yeah, that's just it, right? I mean, I think you said that very well, in that you can hear a number. When I hear that Hicks threw that 105 miles per hour, and I saw it, and it was a BB right to the plate, my jaw dropped. Now, I don't know. Maybe outfielders routinely throw it 100 miles per hour. I just don't know.
Yeah, you don't know for sure. You make the assumption that 105 is very good. Now, you can't just gauge it based on what a pitcher throws, because a pitcher's standing still on the rubber, whereas an outfielder has generally a running start, which creates momentum and should result in a slightly faster throw. But still, it will be nice to know is that the top of the pack, or are there other guys that do that as well?
One chases strike 3, 2 out. And it'll bring up Ryan Rule. Well, to get some context to the base hit a moment ago. By the way, that high fastball has been a tough one for guys to hold back on here early on, it seems. But 99 miles per hour off of Beltre's bat, that base hit. The average exit velocity right now, the highest in baseball. Domingo Santana owns that at the moment, and he averages 96 miles per hour off the bat. Now, some of the hardest hit balls this year have gone 123, 124 miles per hour as exit velocity. But 99.
Most people would say Stanton probably has one of them. Maybe Nelly Cruz.
Stanton is in the top 4. David Freese among them. Eric Hosmer. The hardest hit ball this year, Luis Valbuena, 124 plus miles per hour.
I guess that shows that, if you're a strong guy, Valbuena hit 25 home runs last year, and you take the perfect swing, make contact at the right spot, in the right part of the bat, right trajectory off the bat, then probably somewhere around 120 is about how hard you're going to hit it.
That one That one probably felt like 120 right there on Deanna Navarro. The foul tip game, it takes on slightly different meaning on chilly nights like tonight, right? I would just imagine that it would hurt that much more on a night where it feels like 40 degrees.
Yeah, I think if that catcher felt like we feel or a fan feels sitting in the cold, it definitely would feel that way. Probably once he gets into the game, even though it's chilly outside, he's probably feeling pretty good. That one just hit the mask. Who knows what it came off the bat at, 85, 90 miles an hour. And that just stunned him. Those have created problems for a lot of catchers, though. They've caused concussions. Robin Chirinos had a concussion. Mike Matheny, Joe Mauer. It's hard to catch for any amount of time and not have had a bad occurrence with a foul tip off the mask.
2-1 Rua. They're squared up at 2-2. He's had some nice at-bats lately. Rua going the opposite way a couple of times yesterday.
Ryan's kind of picking up where he left off in spring training. Had a big spring, played a lot in spring training, settled into kind of a utility role, but Banny's getting in quite a bit of playing time coming off the bench. And his versatility helps him. With a high fastball.
Well, that's been the weapon tonight for Quintana. 3 strikeouts through his 2 innings, and after 1.5, no score from the South. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Scoreless game, bottom of the 2nd inning. Melky Cabrera will lead things off for the White Sox. Switch hitter, the right side against the left-handed throwing Martin Perez. Play Cabrera straight up on the infield, and there's a bouncer up the middle that gets through for a base hit. And truly, it feels like it's the aberration now when you look out there and see infields playing the conventional lineup, I guess. And then it's even more shocking when one gets through.
That's not a very hard hit ball. Martin will get a lot of weakly hit balls. He's got good velocity, good movement, hard to hit it in the good spot of the bat. But when you get a lot of ground balls, not all of them are going to be hit where a fielder can make the play. There's a lot of open space out there to find a hole.
Cabrera aboard and Brett Lawrie.
It's the fourth straight time the leadoff hitter has reached. First 3 times he reached, but never got to second base.
Nobody's managed to get to second yet in this one. One and one to Lawrie. He's picked it up a little bit lately and gives some of these White Sox fans hopes. And listen, they got a 10-6 record. They're a half game back in the Central, so they feel good about this start. I think a lot are left to wonder, well, what if this team had been hitting the ball a little bit?
I know Robin Ventura feels like he's got an excellent pitching staff. I think they felt that way coming into the season. I'm sure he feels like he has a better offense than they've seen the first couple of weeks. So I guess the other side of it is, Dave, if they continue to get the solid pitching, eventually the guys are going to start to hit a little bit. Frazier and Abreu certainly will in the middle of the lineup.
Two and two now. I tell you, Martin Perez threw a couple pitches prior to that foul ball right there that looked awfully close.
Well, definitely close enough to be strikes. And if you're Martin Perez and you're a sinker ball pitcher who thrives on keeping the ball down at the knees and getting ground balls, those are pitches when you go into the game, you're saying to yourself, I need those pitches to be called strikes. They're borderline. They can go either way. But if they were called strikes, no one would have had an argument, that's for sure.
Possible perhaps tonight on the cold weather that the strike zone contracts like anything else would in the cold, apparently. Alfonso Marquez. Shrinkage.
I've never heard that one before on the strike zone.
Perez comes back and gets Lawrie swinging for out number one.
And the high fastball has plagued the hitters tonight. Laying off it has been difficult. Big swing, no result. Mentioned that that's something Martin had working for him in his last start. Getting swings and misses at his fastball. Most of those were down, though, with sinking movement. That was just a high fastball that he threw by Lowry. That's where he wants to throw the ball. If he can throw it there with that sinking and tailing action to the right-hand hitters, he's going to be fine. Especially if he starts to get that call from Alfonso Marquez when they take it.
I was to say, I mean, he's been putting it there. They've been laying off and hasn't been getting calls.
It's the same one that was not called a strike, but it doesn't matter if he swings at it. There's another one. That one came in and that had to be called a strike. Good velocity by both pitchers tonight. Martin has popped to a couple at 95, several at 93, 94. Both guys feel strong. It's chilly, but once you get warmed up and you're in the game, it's a lot easier for the players than it is for the people just sitting and watching. Martin has really not a kind of a half a sleeve, not a long sleeve shirt, so he's feeling comfortable.
Did he go? No on the appeal. Chris Guccione allow him to see another pitch.
Good call. That one on the scoreboard radar gun speed was 96, and they can vary from park to park. And some parks have a gun that people think is a tick faster than other parks.
1-2. Well, that used to be the big deal, right? The Jugs gun was, what, a little faster, right?
Yeah, there was a ray gun and a Jugs gun in the old days when radar guns first came out. The ray gun measured the speed of the ball when it went by the batter. So when it left the pitcher's hand, you could look at the ray gun and see it go 94, 93, 92, 91. And it would focus on 91, the speed when it went by the hitter. The ray gun focused on the ball when it came out of the pitcher's hand. Therefore, it would be anywhere from 2 to 4 miles an hour faster than a ray gun. And so when both those guns were being used, they weren't being publicized on scoreboards, but scouts would use them. And so when you report it on a player, you'd have to also say which radar gun you used, so the person evaluating it would know how to quantify it.
Payoff pitch, and Sands draws a walk, and for the first time tonight, there's a runner as far as second base.
In the ballparks today, we talk about the radar gun speed, but actually there's not a person sitting behind home plate with a radar gun.
Was it that TrackMan?
TrackMan, and there's cameras set up throughout the ballpark that focus on the ball, and they immediately put up the velocity. In a lot of parks, they'll also tell you what kind of pitch it is based on the spin on the ball, the action of the ball, and the speed of the ball. You may see 91, two-seam fastball, 84, cut fastball, slider in some of the ballparks. That's not someone that's making that determination on a split second. It's basically machines. Well, Martine's got the wrong umpire behind home plate.
Yeah, this is
he's playing his game, making his pitches, and not getting the call on the low strike.
He's
about 5 of those pitches could easily be called strikes right at the bottom of the strike zone, and he's showing Alfonso Marquez that he can keep the ball down there. It's not like every now and then one is down there.
He's hitting this. There used to be that theory that maybe you wouldn't get it called initially, but if you could continue to hit that spot when it was close enough, then an umpire would begin to give it to him. And that's not proving to be the case.
I think that happens basically on any given pitch. There's a strike zone, and if it goes in it, it should be a strike, and if it doesn't, it's not. So, you know, there's a lot of ways to justify it. Well, this is my strike zone, but you see that rectangle, and technically if the ball's in it or touching it, it should be a strike. And the other thing, Martine, the kind of pitcher he is, you should know going in what kind of a pitcher he is. You're going to see a lot of pitches down there. There's another one right down there. The last 2 he's brought up just a few inches to where most of the ball is in the strike zone. But although you don't see it every time, if a ball is touching that square, it could be a strike. And some people say, well, if a guy's 6'8", how do you look at that rectangle and compare it to a guy who's 5'8"? It's adjusted based on who the hitter is. Inside and outside is like 100% accurate because of you know where the plate is and what the size of the plate is.
Well, to right, but Rua there again, tagging at second, Cabrera, and he'll advance.
Well, I think Elvis made the right decision. He had a borderline play at third, but you risk hitting the runner with a throw. Had a borderline play back to first, but it would have been an outside chance. So when in doubt, hang on to the ball.
Again, Brocale jogging out to the mound. A quick word. The 9th place hitter at the plate, and I'm sure part of this conversation tag is a reminder of that. You've got the 9th place hitter here. Make sure let's not nibble. Go after it. There's a feel tonight of a game that might be low scoring. A lot of the games at the beginning of the season tend to be that way. So perhaps a big spot here for Perez. Cabrera third, Sands at first. And work on keeping him close. It's home cooking for Saladino, has served him well.
If Martine maintains his composure early in this game, the way those balls are being called, then he's making pretty good progress on maintaining a steady demeanor on the mound. He's painting the bottom of the strike zone without a lot to show for it.
Foul ball by Saladino. It's 1-1. Right? There's so much information that exists anymore for ball players, but same is true for umpires. There are websites and track or put together heat maps for umpires. And Alfonso Marquez, the data, the reputation is all pretty much the same. He'll give corners. He does not call a lot of the upper level strikes or the lower level of the zone. He wants it in the middle of the zone.
Pretty good report based on what we're seeing tonight.
He'll give you left and right. He does not give you up and down in the 1-1.
If I'm Martin Perez, then when I'm pitching, I'm hoping I got someone else behind home plate. Because the name of my game is, I don't think, early in the game he's thrown 33 pitches. I don't think in any of his 3 starts he's been consistently right there like he has been so far in this game. And again, they're not blatant calls. They're borderline calls. They can go either way. I'm just saying if you're Martin.
The ball lost for a moment. In fact, Holiday can't find it at all. And the White Sox score the first run of the game as Cabrera occasionally picking up on that. That one didn't get far away, and at third base, that's a tough play for Cabrera because you're never confident that it's far enough away to get you home.
He just kind of kept inching down, and eventually he sees the ball, and he knows how far away Brian is from the ball, and he knows there's no way anyone can get the ball before he gets there, and he takes off and scores.
We just absolutely no idea where that ball was. Meanwhile, Sands at second. 1-0 White Sox on the wild pitch. And it's a full count on Saladino. Saladino last year played in 68 games with the White Sox. This is his second year in the big leagues. Lofts it out into right field again. Rua angling back and gets there, and it ends the inning. But Chicago gets the first run of the ball game tonight. We head to the third. It'll be the 8 and 9 batters in this third inning for the Rangers against Jose Quintana. I'm Dave Raymond with Tom Grieve. First of 3 on the south side of Chicago.
And Dave, I might mention, nice to have you aboard. Dave's going to be doing a lot of games for the Rangers this year. When Steve Busby is off, like he is this series, Dave will be doing the play-by-play alongside myself. And the days when I'm off, Buzz is going to slide over to do the analysis. Dave will be the play-by-play. Also doing some radio when Eric Nadel takes off. You are like the super utility man this year.
That's right. Just hang around on the bench every now and then. Come get a big at bat.
Oh, it's nice to have you aboard.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. 1-1 on Odor. Lefty on lefty, so he drops down a little bit in the order, batting 8th today. 2-1.
Both of these teams have a pretty tough schedule early in the season. After 38 days of the season, both teams were scheduled to play 36 times. Only 2 off days. White Sox only have 1 off day in April. Rangers have 2, but then they don't have any at the beginning of May. So after 38 days of the season, Rangers have a rain out. They're scheduled to have only 2 off days. It's a pretty tough schedule early in the season.
Odor smacks it down the right field line with foul. Full count. Yeah, so many times teams come out of spring training and they talk about how they can manipulate their rotation in such a way that maybe you really only need 4 starters as an example, because you have a handful of dates mixed in. But boy, not the case for these two.
No, not these two teams. But if the season lasts 6 months, you play 162 games, you're going to get a certain amount of off days. If you don't have them early, that means sooner or later you're going to start to have them.
Dora lifts this one center field. Plenty of room back there for Austin Jackson. 1 away.
I wouldn't have made him get the ball down into the strike zone that time. Didn't chase. He hit a couple of balls up in the strike zone. Pulled one hard. Hit that ball pretty well into the gap in left center field.
Away for Brian Holiday. 217 and doing a great job behind the plate. Jeff Bannister's been very pleased with Holiday's work back there. His ability to call the game and to, even though he's fairly new to a number of the pitchers he's working with, to sort of take control of that relationship at times. Not an easy thing to do. Two on Holiday. Good game yesterday, helping complete that sweep of the Astros. The 0-2. Jose Quintana, best pitcher you know nothing about in the American League. It is 1-2. Fought off. You mentioned it at the top, Tag, but Quintana, I mean, he's in some pretty good company when you talk about the last 3 seasons and the numbers he's been able to put up. By that, I mean the numbers of innings and starts and strikeouts. And he just misses. It's 2-2. I mean, better than 200 innings in each of the last 3 years. Better than 160 strikeouts each of the last 3 years. And he's made 32 starts in each of the last 3 seasons. Well, smashed by third, a base hit for Holiday.
Well, he fooled Brian with a curveball early in the count that was down and out of the strike zone. That time he got the curveball up for a strike, and Brian was able to wait on it and smash it past Frazier at third base for a base hit. Take a look. This one stays up in the strike zone. Brian takes advantage of that. Yeah, kind of along with what you're saying, Brian, I noticed in the White Sox notes, this is for people who enjoy advanced analytics. I'm not going to try to explain what WAR is, but let's just say it's been a very valuable tool that organizations use to evaluate both players and pitchers. When you look at that, since 2013, he's 9th among major league pitchers in that category, WAR. So I don't think you would look at all major league pitchers and pick Quintana to be one of those guys unless you followed baseball, followed the White Sox, and do more about him, then you would. So he's had 3 very good years in a row for the White Sox. The only reason he doesn't have more wins is that they don't score any runs for him.
1-1 now to the Shields. Well, he also, I don't know what it says about a guy. You mentioned it, they just don't score runs for him, but he leads the world in no decisions. I mean, he routinely finishes a game and is not involved in the decision at all. 53 no decisions since 2014, and that is most in baseball. James Shields 46 behind him.
I think that goes right along with lack of support. He comes out of the game. He hasn't given up many runs. His team hasn't scored many. It's 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. Cost him a lot of wins.
He's fallen behind to Shields again, 3-1, just as he did in the first inning before eventually walking him. Holiday on with a base hit, 1 out, 3rd inning. The Rangers trailing by a run. 3-1. That one gonna hang up there a little bit for Austin Jackson. And a corn 2 away.
He had a good swing at it, just got underneath it. Austin Jackson, kind of a late addition to the White Sox, provides them with a very competent defensive player in center field.
They added some pretty good ball players this offseason. I mentioned Jackson, Todd Frazier at third base. But Laurie, longtime Blue Jay, last year with the Oakland A's. Breaking ball to Andrews, right in there for strike 1. Last year they felt like they really had a shot going into the season. They felt like 2015 might be a big year on the South Side, and it ended up being a massive disappointment here. And then this year we're off to the 10-6 start. Andrews rolls it slowly to short. Saladino able to shovel to second base to force out Holiday, and it ends the inning. No runs, a hit, and another man left. To the bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-0 White Sox. Company dollar hot dog night is this Wednesday. The Rangers take on the Yankees and enjoy all the Texas Chili Company dollar hot dogs you can eat for just $1 each. Tickets are available at texasrangers.com. Bottom of the third inning, top of the order for Chicago as Adam Eaton stands in and takes strike one. Scrappy young player, Adam Eaton, and he is just a bundle of energy and slaps this one down the third base line for extra bases. Karam's out there to Desmond, but Eaton scrambling into second base has a leadoff double.
Nice job twice by Eaton going the other way with line drives. First inning he had a line drive single to left, just inside the foul line. This time he doubles to left. Coming into the game in 3 starts, that's a pretty good slider down and away. Coming into the game, left-hand hitters have been 1 for 13 against Martin. Eaton's able to make some pretty good contact. Nice job by the security guard down the left field line.
Good hustle. Okay. Bunt, third base side by Jackson, and Beltran able to make the play. Good sacrifice by Jackson. Moves Eaton into third base. Good sacrifice, but a better play by Adrian Beltran.
Yeah, we've shown a lot of plays this year that Adrian's made. Just add this to the list of plays that looked like it was going to be a base hit, turned into an easy out. And of course, that's not the first time he's done that either. Pretty routine for him.
On away man at third now for Jose Abreu, and they'll bring everybody in on the infield. That gives you a sense for the thinking of Jeff Bannister and what kind of offense we might see in this ball game tonight. White Sox scored the only run of this game on a wild pitch in the second inning. Now a double and a sacrifice. They've got the heart of the order up here with one away. Perez, good fastball, good snap throw down to third as well, but in ahead of it. Outfield respecting Abreu's power, especially Desmond going deep and left. 1-1. Perez gets ahead and swinging strike 2.
A good changeup by Martin. He throws it in a good location. Down and away. The idea is to get him to think it's a fastball, swing, and keep it so far away from him that he can't make any contact with that swing.
The 1-2. Ooh. Tad low and maybe a little in.
He tried to come back with a hard fastball in after the changeup away. It's one time where we're very happy with a strikeout. If we can make the pitch and get a strikeout, pitch instead of pitching to contact, pitch to get the strikeout right here.
High fly center field. She'll get the run home to Shields there. And Eaton able to tag and jog it in. It's 2-0 White Sox.
Well, he tried to go with a changeup, and that's what he got him to swing and miss at earlier in the count. But the first one that he missed was down and away. This one stayed up enough to where he could make some contact with it, get the ball up in the air. Chances are, if he could have kept it down where the other one was. You see, this one it's away, but it's up. You see number 3 down and out of the strike zone. That's the one he missed. The one he hit was 6 or 8 inches higher than that. That's all he needed to be able to make some contact.
gone bases empty for Todd Frazier. Nothing Chicago. Our Coors Light cold hard fact. Well, there you go. One of only two to win the home run derby at his home ballpark. And his win, not to take anything away from what Sandberg did in 1990, but Frazier's win last year in Cincinnati. That was incredible. The new format of the home run derby. We've said for what, 120 plus years there's no clock in baseball, and they added the clock to the home run derby last year, the All-Star festivities, and it added quite an element. It was a buzzer-beating home run to win it. 1-2. We'll get another one. Probably the highlight of the year last year for the Cincinnati Reds. It was a tough one.
I really liked the change in the format for the home run derby. It had just gotten too long, too many swings. It was getting boring. Last year was much more exciting.
2-2 now on Frazier. As you can see, working him away. Gets him to offer one in the low in the zone. Rua with room back there on the right. Well, just not carrying out to right field tonight. Inning over, but the White Sox add another. We played 3. They lead by 2. Yankees get 2 upper reserve tickets for $25 on April 25th or $26 on April 26th. Use the coupon code FSSW at TexasRangers.com to get your pay-the-date tickets. This ticket offer courtesy of Fox Sports Southwest. 2-0. White Sox with the lead, but the 3, 4, and 5 do in this 4th inning for the Rangers. The fielder will narrowly miss being hit in the first offer from Quintana. Pop up back of third base. That's a long run with Melky Cabrera somewhere behind that mast. There he is. Makes the play.
Rangers have their ski hats out tonight. They came prepared.
Yesterday it was sunny, temperatures in the 70s. Gorgeous day in Chicago. Today woke up and the wind chill was in the mid-30s the better part of the morning and early afternoon as Beltre comes up empty on strike one. You see 45 degrees. That was our game time temperature as well. The wind chill dipped into the 30s by this point of the night.
Yeah, and again, I really think it's colder for people sitting and watching. I don't think the temperature is a factor at all for the players. They're moving around. They get to come back in the dugout between innings. It's breezy, but not really windy. It was much windier when we got to the ballpark today. So from a player's perspective and a pitcher, both pitchers, Quintana has short sleeves on, so it can't be bothering him very much.
1-2 to Beltre. 2-2.
I haven't seen any fans with short sleeve shirts though.
No, haven't either.
Generally about now you'd see four guys with letters on their chests and no shirts on standing up. We haven't seen anyone like that yet either.
Another beer or two and we'll get there. That one runs a little tight. It's a full count. Maybe they just haven't enough time to get lubed up. Well, Beltre fell behind 0-2. He's worked it full now, and Quintana will have to show him a 7th pitch. There's your short sleeve.
There we go. I knew our camera guys could find someone somewhere. Probably got some hot coffee there that he's warming his hand with. He's keeping his arms close to his body to generate some heat on him.
Payoff pitch.
2 slow curveballs on 3-ball, 2-strike count. Maybe it's hanging tough with him. Last week we've seen 2 opposing players go down on one knee to take a swing. Showed Adrian with an amused look on his face watching them try to emulate his swing.
Time to pop it up. Back of first base. And Laurie will squeeze it 2 away. 8-pitch at bat though. As Ian Desmond comes up. Our TXU Energy power player to watch tonight. Ian Desmond, 4 for his last 11, but he's done it with some power. You can see that those couple of days off, 3 days off for him, seem to have changed his outlook on everything. Bender in there for a strike. Took a day off, a rain out, and then a scheduled off day. And since then, Desmond has been back, and he lines this one out there to left field, and that is a tough play. Melky Cabrera is taken to the fence with a, yeah, show it, Melky. Nice route. That's a tough play on a ball lined right at him. Hitting over the masked man, robs him. 2-0 White Sox. On Friday, April 29th, following the Angels-Rangers game. Fans using the online coupon code FIREWORKS can get upper reserve tickets for just $14. Visit TexasRangers.com to purchase your tickets today. Rangers fans bundled up. Good seats too as we begin to play bottom of the fourth inning. And Martin Perez pumps in a strike to Melky Cabrera, who just took away a line drive off the bat of Ian Desmond. And he'll serve a line drive out into right field, and Rua ranging over to grab it. Out number one.
Yeah, Ian doesn't have anything to show for his 2 at-bats today, but he's had good swings. The first time up, he just got underneath one and popped it up. That one, he needed to get underneath it just a little bit more to launch it out of here. He hit an extremely hard line shot. Somehow Cabrera caught it. I'm not sure he knows how he caught it, but it went in his glove. When Ian gets that ball up in the air, no doubt where it would have ended up. So 0 for 2, but 2 good swings. Right on both those balls.
Now Brett Lowry takes ball 1. Yeah, well, Desmond hit that ball 109 miles per hour off the bat. One of the harder hit balls of the year. Take another look at this. Now that ball was blistered. And Cabrera, oh boy.
Nice play. Took a stab at it and made the play.
A bouncer first. 2 away. A rare ground ball out, it seems, tonight for Martin Perez. An extreme ground ball pitcher, but because, I would posit anyway, Tags, because he's not getting that low strike ball, he's had to elevate just a little bit, and he's ended up with a lot of fly ball outs.
Definitely way more fly ball outs than he would normally get. White Sox coming into the game had the fewest runs in the league, other than the Angels. They haven't walked very much to go along with it. Their average is the lowest. Their on-base percentage is the lowest. They haven't started to hit home runs at any great rate. So the way that they've scored today is probably what you'd expect. Get a guy on, advance on a fly ball, score on a wild pitch, sack bunt, sack fly to score the second run. A little bit of small ball. When you're getting the kind of pitching that they're getting, small ball is kind of the name of the game. Score here, score a run here, score a run there. And the way it's gone for their pitching early in the season, that's generally been enough to allow them to go 10-6 to start the season.
Sands hits one on a short hop to Moreland at first. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Martin Perez. Only 9 pitches needed as we go to the 5th tonight on the south side of Chicago. Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Mazda, and every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. Four innings in the books tonight. 2-0 White Sox as they have made the most of 3 hits. Rangers have been quieted by left-hander Jose Quintana. So sometimes you do whatever it takes to keep the head warm on a cool night like tonight.
Some of us might not be willing to go quite that far. I might go for a hat myself.
Well, Moreland struck out in the 2nd inning. One of 3 strikeout victims in the first 2 innings for Quintana, who does not do that a lot. Pop up foul, and it's 1-1. Moreland, left-handed hitter, dealing with a good left-handed pitcher. Which was 2 for 6 against lefties coming into the game. He was off a good breaking ball there, 2-1.
White Sox had an interesting note on Quintana. Since 1901, that's a long time, he's the only pitcher that had 3 straight years with 200 innings, an ERA below 3.54, and 9 or fewer wins every year.
This one popped up.
Another ball, someone just barely got underneath. Mitch almost hit that up to the scoreboard. Just barely got underneath it. So 200 innings, 3 years in a row, an ERA below 3.51, and 9 or fewer wins. Meaning that it's tough to pitch that good 3 years in a row and not get more than 9 wins in any one of those years. And he's been plagued by bad run support, not just last year, but pretty much all 3 years. He's gone 9-7, 9-11, and 9-10 with a composite ERA of about 3.4.
That it's kind of amazing. This is low to Rua for ball 1. Amazing that you wouldn't get a little more run support in this ballpark, and also that you'd be able to pitch to such a low earned run average in this ballpark. You know, typically in the summer months when it warms up here, this plays like a little bit of a bandbox out there, especially to right field. And to keep those numbers that low, remarkable on the one hand. The fact that he'd get no run support here, you know, it might happen for a year. You see that every now and then. It's interesting that a guy for 3 consecutive years, he just can't get any help. To 1 to Rua. He finds the corner. I don't know if that statistically, that's one I've never really run across. If there's anything to a guy getting little run support always as a slow chopper to second base, easily handled by Laurie, and 2 gone.
Yeah, if there is, I think it's pretty haphazard. I can't imagine, unless the guy was so disliked by his teammates that they said, we'd like to win this game, but not for him. We're not hitting today.
It seems pretty unlikely.
It's just kind of one of those coincidences. He's matched up a lot against good pitchers, maybe. Just one of those statistical things that happen.
He's retired 8 in a row. A big curveball in there for a strike.
You deserve a strike on that pitch. But basically slips out of his hand.
Well, it wasn't a strike, according to Fox Track.
It's one thing if that's a fastball, but when that's a curveball that slips out of a guy's hand against the left-hand hitter and that thing's called a strike, I'm not buying that, with all due respect to Alfonso Marquez.
1-1. in a little bit there on Odor.
Rangers have only had a couple of hits. Not much in the way of a rally, but they probably had 5 or 6 balls where they had perfect swings and just missed it. Hit it on the good part of the bat, got underneath it. In Ian's case, just didn't get it high enough.
And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Quintana. He's retired 9 in a row. And we're halfway there tonight. White Sox lead by 2. Is the most flexible way to enjoy the 2016 Rangers season. Choose the 20 games that work best for your schedule. Can't make it to one of the games? No problem. The 20-game plan includes a flexible exchange policy. For all the details and benefits, visit texasrangers.com/20-game plans. Bottom of the 5th inning. Yana Navarro takes strike 1. 0 for 1, flat out to right field in the 2nd inning. As this one sharply back up the middle, and Odor with a lollipop throw, and Navarro is safe. Whoa! Able to get around the tag on a bizarre play at first base.
Oh, it was a nice pickup by Rudnett. He probably had a little more time than he took. Navarro's not a good runner. He went for the soft throw to try to make it accurately and didn't make it accurately. Ball hits the mound and goes straight up in the air, so it's a nice pickup, but he's got a lot more time than that. You can see where Navarro is. I think what he would do the next time is take a couple of steps, get his feet underneath him, and then throw a firm throw to first base. He just assumed he was going to be able to make that throw accurately, and it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure that Navarro was speeding out of the box either. I think he may have assumed that he was a little bit of trouble because he was 4 steps shy of first base by the time that rainbow even got there. It's an error on Odor. It's a 1-1 count now on Saladino.
The 4th time in 5 innings that the White Sox have had their leadoff hitter out. And trying to get a ground ball. Save his pitch count. Get a couple of quick outs right here. They've retired 6 straight batters. Could have been the 7th straight batter. Kind of a typical game for the White Sox based on what they've done early in the season. Get great pitching, score enough to have a lead.
middle infield looking for a ground ball, pulled in at double play depth. 1-2 rolled to third. Beltre has it to second one. This time Lindor's throw not in time. And Saladino hustles it out.
Yep, just not hit hard enough to be able to turn it, but they got the lead runner.
One out, man on. Let's send it back to Dana Larson of the studios for an in-game update. All right, thanks, Dana. Our Chevy game update. He fouls that one off for strike one. A's have been playing great lately. And continuing to put pressure on the Rangers. Boy, the Astros, by the way, at home tonight, and they're getting whooped up on by the Boston Red Sox. 5-0 in the fourth inning of that ball game. Strike pitch, and that one, another double play opportunity. Quick shovel this time by Odor, and Andrews over to first in time. A lot of practice tonight on that very similar play. This time they turned the double play. Inning over. We go to the sixth tonight. 2-0 Chicago. The Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot worth $1,300 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, John Edwards from Heartland, Texas will win $1,300. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, John will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. $2-0 White Sox lead. We begin play in the sixth inning. Holiday had a base hit in the third inning after a couple of hits yesterday against the Astros, so he's been swinging it pretty well. Once you get it started here against Quintana. The thing is, Quintana's throwing the ball well tonight, Tag, but the pitching overall has been very good for this White Sox team. The bullpen, though, has been even better than the starting pitching has been. So the challenge is only going to get stiffer as the night wears on.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably not a case where you say, let's get the starter out of there and get to the bullpen where we can have our way with several guys out there. You're right. The ERA for the bullpen is 1.6.
2-1 now to Holiday.
Quintana's thrown a lot of fastballs tonight. Had a good fastball. He's moved it around. throwing fastballs, curveballs tonight.
2-1 to Holiday, and he turns over to third base. Frazier takes care of business, one away.
Changeup took a little bit off that one, and Brian hit toward the end of the bat. I can pitch.
13 of the last 14 Rangers. We have not seen a Ranger get as far as second base tonight against Quintana. He came in 1-1 with a 2.55 ERA in his first 3 starts. And those numbers improving as we wear on tonight. Shields watches ball 1. Toronto's had a couple of good at-bats against Quintana. Drew a walk his first time up, and on a 3-1 pitch, fly it out to center field into third. And he has made the lefty work. Curveball, and it's strike 2.
That's the hardest, one of the hardest type of curveballs to hit. The one that breaks a lot and just barely touches the outside corner. Just never looks like it's going to come into the strike zone. It's just not a pitch you can do much with.
It stays 1-2. The Shields 0 for his last 11. He's had a little trouble on the bases. Just misses 2-2. Did get news today too. Darvish was going to go out on a rehab start. That's been pushed back. Move it back 5 days to May 1st. 2-2 pitch, and it's pulled foul. So he will throw a bullpen next Wednesday or Thursday, I believe, in Arlington. It's Thursday. Throw live BP. Need to go out on a rehab assignment Sunday as the Shields hits one hard left field. Cabrera back and has room. 2 gone.
Yeah, another pretty good at bat. Another ball hit pretty well, but just not quite well enough to find a gap out there anywhere.
While Major League Baseball's global reach seems to be greater than ever, for now, Cuba remains one country that's outside its reach. Watch our special documentary, Cuba, Baseball's Final Frontier, tomorrow night, 7:30, here on Fox Sports Southwest. It's 8 fly ball outs now for Quintana. And Elvis Andrus 0 for 2. His 8-game hitting streak in jeopardy. Ball 1. Andrews struck out on the first. Grounded out in the third. That's his ball fouled on the right field line. Batting in the second spot of the order today, right-hander against the lefty Quintana. Tight. 2-1. Just 5 total hits in this game for these two teams on a chilly and earlier a little more blustery than it is now. It's sort of calmed down. Still a very cold night here in Chicago. The 2-1. Curveball's been pretty effective. There you go.
It's got a good one.
The radar gun right there, by the way, although that was a slow curve. 3 degrees. Put your hot pink blanket. Roller to short. for Saladino, and it's a 1-2-3 inning again for Quintana, and he is in a big-time groove. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning in Chicago. White Sox lead by 2. Rangers play division rival Los Angeles Angels on Saturday, April 30th. It's also Captain and Friends Mascot Weekend. The first 7,500 kids 13 and under get a Rangers Captain t-shirt jersey presented by Fanatics. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Bottom of the 6th inning, Austin Jackson leads things off for the White Sox. Jose Abreu and Todd Frazier, 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Southsiders. And Perez wins one past him. It's 1-1. Neither team has a hit since the 3rd inning of this one. White Sox scored on a wild pitch in the 2nd inning and a sac fly in the 3rd. Too tight, 2-1 to Jackson. Well-pitched game so far tonight by both starters. Perez, it's always hard to figure these sorts of things, Tag. I mean, he had a couple of potential ground ball double plays in the 1st inning that resulted in just outs. Extended the inning a little bit. Nobody scored as a result, but there is cumulative effect to all these things over the course of a ball game.
Yeah, I guess you never know exactly what happens if the Rangers are able to turn one of those balls, how it changes his performance when he pitches from a stretch, who's the hitter, and in what situation after something like that happens. But bottom line is he's thrown the ball pretty well tonight. It's just a matter of that Quintana for the White Sox been a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think that and the fact that his style doesn't match particularly well with Alfonso Marquez's umpiring, which is to say Marquez is not one to give a lot of low strikes or high strikes. And there have been a lot of borderline pitches that Perez hasn't gotten today, although he does get a strike call that time. Chris Guccione at first just said Jackson went around. A swinging strike.
Martin, when you look at his pitch count, he's at 74 pitches, which is pretty solid for this stage of the game. He's thrown 2 strikes for every ball, 49 and 25. So he's still making his pitches pretty well. I think he's maintained his composure pretty well. The White Sox had a couple of leadoff hitters on, moved them around, scored a couple of runs. One of the runs scored on kind of an unusual wild pitch that didn't get that far away from Brian Holiday. It just kicked 10 feet away, and Brian wasn't sure where it was, couldn't find it. Cabrera snuck in and scored. Blocked the ball, but then couldn't find it.
Abreu lifts one to center field. The Shields with a routine play, 2 away.
It's funny. If you looked at the way the Rangers scored runs at home on this last homestand, our team would be sitting pretty right now. Kind of like the game that he pitched against the Orioles, where he took a 5-1 lead into the 7th inning. Pitching the pretty much the same kind of game. Doesn't have the strikeouts today that he did then. But the Rangers having a hard time getting anything going against Quintana. But our team, after the double to Eaton to lead off the 3rd, settled down nicely. The base runner has been Navarro, who reached on an error.
Todd Frazier 0 for 2 tonight. Both times he's hit the ball to Rua out there in right field. '64 home runs the last 2 years for Frazier, and he comes up empty on that one. It's 1 and 2.
The velocity on that pitch, 94. Both pitchers, even though it's chilly, I think it's kind of invigorating for both of them. Both strong, both throwing well.
1-2. When you played on cold days like today as a hitter, I've always just assumed that as a hitter this was an unpleasant experience.
Yeah, I think that, you know, when you hit a ball off the end of the bat and the bat vibrates in your hands, the colder it is, the more it hurts. That's for sure. I think the worst days, though, are when it's cold and it's windy. That just goes right through you. But a day like this, where there's a mild breeze and it's in the 40s, I think you feel chilly out there, but I don't think you go out to your position going, man, this is so cold I can't stand it. Wet days, windy days, when it's down in the upper 30s, those are really tough. But I think you can get warm enough as a player today. Guys in the ball game running on and off the field. I think if you talk to them after the game, they'd say, yeah, it was cold out there, but it wasn't a factor for us. May affect the way the ball's carrying today. There's been a lot of balls hit pretty well that kind of died at the warning track. Might have affected the flight of the ball. White Sox have hit some too. I talk about the ones the Rangers have hit, but you know, keep things in perspective. The White Sox have hit a few balls like that as well. Ryan Rule has run down a few out right field.
2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 6th, and the full count pitch to Frazier. Perez loose, and the first walk he has issued tonight.
Coming into the game, Martin had walked 11 batters in 18 innings. Keeping the walk total down today. Nice to see.
Free base runner for Melky Cabrera now, 1 for 2 tonight, and he has scored one of the runs.
Both Delano and Cabrera have turned the headgear they had around their ears and over their forehead into more of a scarf now, so they must be warming up a little bit.
Pitch. Hit hard into left field. Drops in. Base hit. Good start for Frazier with 2 outs, but they'll stop him at third base. Double for Cabrera. And now 2-minute scoring position. Get Rocaille out to the mound.
The earlier White Sox rallies kind of centered around getting a leadoff hitter on base. This one's a little bit different. Our team got the first 2 hitters this inning. Now a walk and a double. I thought they might send Frazier on this ball. with 2 outs, but they chose not to. And the ball missed the cutoff man, went over the cutoff man's head, rolled toward home plate. Not that far away from home plate.
Well, hard to believe, or maybe not that hard to believe, really. I've been sitting here watching this thing all night. That is the first hit for either team that has come with a man on base.
Yeah, not much in the way of rallies today.
The teams combined 1 for 15 with runners on. And Laurie pops this one foul. It's quite playable. Rulo gave that a heck of an effort. Some activity for Klein loosening up. And there you see the line. Two walks, 2 strikeouts, just 4 hits. I forgot about the Sands walk in the 2nd inning. No swing. Laurie well traveled the last couple of years. Last year with the Oakland A's. 2 to count. Originally a first-round pick by the Milwaukee Brewers. He's been traded to Toronto for Sean Markham. Made his name with the Blue Jays last year with Oakland. And traded this offseason to the White Sox. 1-2 pitch. This time, Holiday able to track down that wild pitch, or near wild pitch anyway.
And Brian does a great job behind the plate, blocking balls in the dirt. Good technique. Goes down on both knees, puts his glove down, blocks it with his body. That's exactly what he did on the other one. The other one just kicked a little bit to the right. Wasn't sure where it was.
Frazier at third, Cabrera at second for the White Sox. They lead 2-0. 2-2 from Perez. And that one could be trouble. Out toward left center, drops down, and DeShields bobbles. Both runs score, and Laurie into second base. It's 4-0 Chicago.
Two-out rally. 2 men out, 2 men out, nobody on base. Walk, double, single. Assuming that's a single on the wall.
Well, I was thinking the exact same thing, but apparently they scored it at double.
That's hitting the gap. You see Delano's playing a little bit around towards center field. I'm having a hard time seeing where that's a double, but
With you.
I'll go with what the scorekeeper says.
That'll do it for Martin Perez. As Jeff Bannister takes the baseball and will give it to Bill Klein. We'll tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment.
Martin Perez, after 91 pitches, will head to the clubhouse to warm up. Phil Klein making his third appearance.
When Phil was sent out, Jeff Bannister told him this has nothing to do with your performance. I think Banny was very pleased with the way Phil was throwing the ball. He threw some changeups, working on that pitch. Some very good changeups. Good life on his fastball. Throwing the ball where he wanted to. Hopefully he'll pick right up where he left off. Getting a chance now with the injury to Keone Kela to kind of move up in the bullpen rotation.
That might eat up a couple of innings here tonight.
Yeah, he needs the work for sure, and the bullpen, for the most part, needs a little bit of a rest.
Made just one appearance at the Round Rock Express. He was down with them through one inning of relief. And he right back to the plate, back-to-back strikes on Jerry Sands.
Sean Tollison has pitched 3 straight games. Anthony Barnett threw an inning and 2/3 last night, threw over 20 pitches.
Or 2. Do it again. Jake Diekman has thrown, what, 3 straight?
Diekman's thrown 3 straight. Not a lot of pitches in either one, but nevertheless, he's gotten up and pitched in several games. The late inning guys have been worked. And that generally happens when you have a pretty good streak, when you're playing good baseball and you're playing close games, then you're using your 2, 3, 4 top late inning guys every day to maintain a lead, and certainly using your closer in a safe situation.
The 0-2 to Sands. And that one threw into left field. Laurie around third. The throw to the plate is behind him. 5-0 White Sox.
Well, Lowry has good speed. A strong throw from Ian in left field. Ball was hit pretty hard, so he didn't get to it very close to the infield and had a relatively long throw. But not much chance to get Lowry. Lowry runs well enough. It's a jump. He's off at the crack of the bat. Got rid of it well. Strong throw. Just didn't have time.
Desmond picked up his first assist a couple of nights ago against the Astros. It'll get to second base, running down Altuve, and was looking for number 2 right there. Another good looking throw. Gianna Navarro steps in. It's back-to-back 2-out, 2-strike hits for the White Sox, resulting in a 3 spot. One and one. It's becoming a longer break now for Jose Quintana down in that White Sox dugout. On a very chilly evening. Finds 1-1, and that one punched down into right field, but Odor played perfectly. He throws it over to first, and the inning is over. But not before the White Sox pick up 3 2-out runs. They extend their lead to 5-0. Ford game summary. Second inning with a man at third base. This one gets away. Nobody could find it. Melky Cabrera able to come in, and then just moments ago in the bottom of the sixth inning, there was Brett Lawrie with his two-run double with 2 outs. Next batter, 2 outs, 2 strikes would be Jerry Sands, and that one gets through. A 3-run sixth inning for the White Sox. And it's a 5-0 lead as we play on in the 7th. Heart of the order here. Prince Fielder, Adrian Beltre, and Ian Desmond. And after a 17-minute break, the first pitch from Quintana is blasted out to right center field. Bounces high off the fence, and Fielder with a double to start the 7th.
Well, Rangers finally hit a ball and found a gap out in the outfield. Well hit ball by Prince. That one carried all the way to the warning track. Whether that was in the gap or not probably didn't matter. It was over their heads anyway. Fastball. Good swing by Prince. Smoked that ball right center field. Short hop the wall out there. The Rangers get a rally going.
And importantly now, he has shown his teammates where second base is tonight, the first to get there. It's Beltre. Takes ball 1. Matt Albers begins to loosen the White Sox bullpen. He has been lights out. Quintana's pitch, that one smashed into left field. So they're on the corners in the 7th inning. Very clever of the Rangers to allow those 3 runs in the 6th inning, extend that wait for Quintana on the chilly bench. All with the guys of starting a rally in the 7th inning. Check out your Ford leaderboard. Now this is infielders, so all-time list. Infielders playing the same position in Beltre. 2,500 games at third tonight. Hey, Louis Aparicio, the shortstop. These White Sox, 2,581 games there. Is Quintana going to get a visit now? There's Albers. And just as folks may not have been all that aware of Quintana's dominance in recent years, Albers has slipped under the radar as well. Don Cooper giving a little chat there to Quintana. Cooper's been here since what, like 2002, 2003, and been a mainstay on the south side and has done wonders for this White Sox pitching staff over the years, and he's got a very good staff this year. Quintana for the first time, though, working out of a sticky situation. Rangers on the corners. Ian Desmond, who's made very solid contact tonight, takes ball 1. Out to left was absolutely smoked in the 4th inning by Desmond. It's 2-0. So Don Cooper's first year as pitching coach here in Chicago, 2002. 3-0 to Desmond. Albers looked ready. Last shot we had of him, he looked as if he had thrown enough pitches. So should Quintana lose Desmond, he may be done. They're loaded up.
Probably, if he does keep him in after that walk, it's because he's facing a left-hand hitter. mentioned how well Quintana has pitched against left-hand hitters so far this year, and in his career for that matter. But coming into the game, left-hand hitters were only 2 for 17 against him. And in this game, the first hit by a left-hander was Prince Fielder's double in the 7th inning, so he's given up 1 hit to a lefty.
Now, oddly enough, Moreland, again, not a big sample size, but he was 2 for 5 against Quintana prior to tonight. 0 for 2 tonight.
He had a great swing his last time up. He hit that ball sky high to center field. Just got underneath it a little bit, but he timed it perfectly. He's trying to do the same thing right here.
Well, a chance with one swing to really change the feel of this game. Rangers have been held scoreless through 6+ innings, but have the bases loaded, nobody out here in the 7th. That ball hit well, right field, but right there for it is Eaton, and Desmond got way off first, and is out. And now what do we have? Between second and third base, Beltre has gotten hung up. Fielder was not headed to the plate. And now they're going to have to sacrifice him for the cause. And it's a triple play.
Well, we saw some plays in Texas, but they went the Rangers' way with the Astros. That one didn't go the Ranger way. I thought that was a double and maybe 2 or 3 RBIs down the right field line, but there was a man there to catch it, and the rest is what you just saw.
Well, we'll have to do the math, figure out everybody involved in that one. We'll do it in the break. A triple play ends the Rangers' rally as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Wow. The crowd here buzzing a little bit in the 7th inning stretch. After a triple play, wiped out, a bases loaded, nobody out. Apparent rally for the Rangers in the 7th inning.
Yeah, if you're Quintana, you've got the bases loaded, no outs, and you give up a rocket to right field. And about 30 seconds later, you're walking off the field with a triple play to get out of it with no run scoring and get through 7 innings. Not sure exactly what happened on that play. Prince was on third base. He must not have gone back to tag up because it was deep enough to score.
Well, I think he thought, like just pretty much everybody else, that ball was stung, that it was going to get down and everybody's going to be on the merry-go-round.
Yeah, when you're at third base, you always go back to third, because even if the ball doesn't get caught, you're going to score easily. But if it does get caught, you're in position to tag up. Ian definitely thought it was down the line. He was at first base. He definitely thought it was down the line for an extra base hit. That's why he was so far toward second.
Well, here's our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Line drive right field. That's the 9. Here's the 3. Takes a little while, but he gets it. Then to the plate 2. Shortstop 6. Back to the plate 2 and 5. 9-3, 2-6, 2-5. Triple play. First triple play in 10 years for the White Sox. Adam Eaton started it with that catch in right field. It's 1 and 2. Two and 2. I said one swing might change the complexion of the game. Indeed.
It really did.
It certainly changed the way I felt about the game.
Well, Mitch is up there against a tough left-hand hitter for the second at bat in a row. He got good wood on the ball, but Eaton was playing him a little bit toward the line. Not a lot, but enough, and he's quick out there. He's played center field before, so it was an easy play for him in right field off the bat. It certainly appeared to the base runners anyway that that ball was going to go into the gap, into the corner, and if it did, then Ian would have scored from first base. It probably would have been a 3-run double with nobody out, man at second. Unfortunately, he was there to catch it, and the rest is what you watched turned into a triple play. That'll save you some earned runs if you're Quintana.
Oh man. Full count now on Eaton, who is 2 for 3 tonight. Last time up, bounced into a double play. He likes to go the opposite way, though. This time we'll send it straight up in the air. The heart of the diamond. He is the second out of the inning. Your Progressive Rangers' upcoming schedule. This weekend in Chicago, then it's back home Monday for 3 with the Yankees, a day off, and 3 with the Angels. Then we're going international style up to Toronto, where they got a little news today. Mr. Jackson takes strike 1. 80-game suspension for Chris Colabello, levied by Major League Baseball today. This one roped over third, and that is a fair ball. Kicks up some chalk down that line, and Austin Jackson with a 2-out double.
Slider, cut fastball, maybe it stayed in. Jackson pulls it. You see it hit right on the chalk, right down the line. And then have a fan pick it up. And he'll stay at second base.
Here's Abreu, 0 for 2 with the sacrifice fly. And he'll take strike 1. It's important for Klein to power through this and eat up some innings here. If he could complete this 7th, potentially pitch the 8th as well, and really save the bullpen, that would be a small victory tonight's proceedings. This one gets away from Holiday, but Jackson holds second base.
Abreu will be a key guy for the White Sox this year. If the White Sox are going to stay a contender, they're going to need Abreu and Frazier in the middle of the lineup to have big years. It looks like they've got the pitching to be competitive, and they need the runs to be produced. Abreu's done that his first 2 years. 36 home runs, 30 home runs, and over 100 RBIs in both of those seasons. So he's been a major run producer in the middle of the lineup. They acquired Todd Frazier, who's done the same thing for years with the Reds. And if the White Sox are going to be a contender, then these guys are going to need to hit 25 to 35 home runs and knock in 90 to 110 runs apiece. Make sure that the White Sox score enough runs to back that what appears to be stellar pitching staff.
Fuller stands, 1-2 pitch, and shoots it foul again.
Bray is one of those power hitters. He's not a pull hitter. He can drive the ball into the gaps and hit the ball a long way to right field. Great power the other way. He's also been an average hitter, not just a power hitter. 317 2 years ago, 290 last year. He's a good hitter in addition to being a power hitter.
Really exploded out of the scene in 2014. And he chased that one for strike 3. Inning over. Phil Klein puts a goose egg on the board in the 7th. We go to the 8th. 5-0 White Sox. Lead. That's the bad news. Good news is Jose Quintana out of the ballgame, maybe. The Kubota power stats from tonight's game. Yeah, here you go. That's the good news. I say with a question mark in my voice. Starters out of the game. Bullpen's on. 1.62 ERA, best in Major League Baseball. Matt Albers, the man being called upon at the moment, and he has been as good as any of them. A 30-inning scoreless streak going for Albers. 7 scoreless appearances so far this year. You see those numbers, pretty tidy. The streak takes us back into last season. And he starts Rua off with strike 1.
Albers has a fastball that reaches the mid-90s. It's got a lot of movement on it, too. Smooth, kind of sidearmish delivery. Looks in a slider. That was the last pitch. There's another slider. Uses the combination of his fastball with excellent movement and that slider to put up the numbers you're talking about, Dave. A lot of shutout innings for this guy. He's had a lot of injuries throughout his career. Missed some time last year. Good command with that one.
Yeah, he's been well traveled in recent years, and what you make there, the injuries have been part of it. Mentioned earlier, Don Cooper has been the pitching coach here since 2002. He's done a good job with so many pitchers during that time, and some guys, are very good at taking somebody like Matt Albers, a guy with obvious and admitted abilities, and finding that one thing that really can make them great again. And look at that. Two-seam fastball, get right in there for strike 3 call. That thing had wicked movement on it. And the strikeout is how he begins his outing.
Also looks like one of those fastballs that gets on the hitter because of maybe a little deception in his delivery, quicker than the velocity reading, I'd say. Got plenty of velocity though, 92 to 94 miles an hour generally. When you add that movement, the fact that he might be a little bit tough to pick up with the location of the pitch and that slider that he throws. The reason why he's pitching so well. There's another sinker right off the end of the bat. Good movement.
Turns into a 6-3 put out, 2 away. And it brings up Brian Holiday. Albers started his career with the Houston Astros as a starter. Orioles made him a reliever. AT&T high-speed replay. Yeah, there you go. Let's turn this up a little bit. 9-3. We're doing it again. 2. 6-2. Here's a 2. 5. Triple play. First triple play in 25 years for the Rangers. Last triple play they hit into June 1st, 1991 against the Mariners. This ball popped up into center field and playable for Jackson. 1-2-3 inning for Matt Albers. And we go to the bottom of the 8th in Chicago. Internet next telecast, well, it's tomorrow, 1 p.m. Fox Sports Southwest. Game 2 of this 3-game series. See a couple of the big boppers for these two teams in the heart of their orders, and we might see a little more offense tomorrow. 5-0 White Sox tonight. And Tom Wilhelmsen on to pitch in the 8th.
I'm sure Tom glad to be back on the mound, trying to work through some early season difficulties. Been plagued by the home run ball. He allowed 4 home runs in the 4 innings that he's pitched. And he's a lot better than that. He just got to get straightened out. Whether it's a mechanical issue, definitely a location issue with his pitches. He's still the same guy that's been an outstanding setup reliever and at times a closer.
His 1-0 to Todd Frazier right in there.
Now with Keone Kela out, it's even more vital to the Ranger bullpen for Tom to get straightened out and assume that same style and role that he's had the last couple of years with Seattle.
Finds the outside corner. 1-2. Well, Helmson, his velocity in these first couple of weeks of the season, he's been down a tick on all of his pitches, whether it's the breaking ball, a changeup, fastball. They're all just a tad slower than his last year averages. I'll chat with Doug Brocail, Rangers pitching coach, about that today, as well as the skipper, Jeff Bannister. No concern on either of their parts with regard to Wilhelmsen and velocity. Brocail said, in a lot of cases, hard throwers, the first month of the season, they're just building up strength. And you'll see velocity increase over the course of the summer. That could be an explanation. But they don't feel like there's anything to be worried about per se, at least with regard to velocity. Three and 2 now to Frazier. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And Wilhelmsen loses it.
Trying to get command of that breaking ball.
You can follow Rangers baseball live with the MLB.com @bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. There's the heater at 95. Guerrero doubled his last time up with 2 outs. So Singleton scored earlier in the game, and the 1-strike pitch from Wilhelmsen. Breaking. A guy like Wilhelmsen gets a little more rope too, right? Than let's just say somebody a little less tested. He's got a track record that would indicate an ability to figure it out and continue to compete at this level. It's 2-1. Fly ball, center field. The shield's coming on. 1 away.
Well, last year with Seattle, he had a solid season. He saved 13 games, but he had a little time where he spent in AAA with Tacoma. Went down there for a little tune-up, had 4 games, only threw 4 innings there, but came back and pitched really well for Seattle. Ended up with a nice ERA, good strikeout to innings ratio. So throughout the course of the season, there's going to be some ups and downs for Tom. It's early in the season as he tries to get everything straightened out and back in line. But definitely, based on track record and the stuff that you see, and you have confidence that it will get turned around. Just a matter of going out there, getting some on-the-job training, and regaining the form that you've shown for a number of years.
2-0 to Brett Lawrie. Frazier at first. He drew the walk. And it's 3-0. Not a good sequence with Lawrie. Loses him on 4 straight. Couple of walks in the inning, and Holiday heads out to have a little chat with him.
Yeah, based on what we're seeing this inning, he's thrown pitches that just aren't exactly where he's aiming those pitches. He's thrown 15 pitches, 10 of them have been balls, so it's more of a command issue this inning, being able to locate the fastball where he wants to, get the breaking ball down where he wants to. Trying to work to overcome that command issue. There you go. There's where he's trying to throw that breaking ball. The lower part of the strike zone.
Well, Kel referenced the fact that during the Astros series, a reporter had asked him something about the number of home runs the Rangers have allowed to this point in the season. And he pointed out, he said, well, we have given up some home runs. But that's because my guys have been aggressive. They're going after the strike zone, attacking hitters, and occasionally somebody will hit a home run. The reality is we're winning and succeeding with our strategy at the moment. Well, Helmson, though, the guy maybe who has been hurt the most by the home run ball, 4 of them allowed to this point, as he gets a strikeout of Sands. And I just wonder, watching this inning with the 2 walks, if when you give up a number of home runs, if you begin to get a little gun shy and start to nibble a little bit, try to be a little more fine and back off that attack mentality, because he's been a little careful a couple of times this year. Frazier second, Lawrie first. Breaking ball to Navarro. It's been a struggle for Navarro at the plate. Tonight, Pollard in 3 at-bats, an .071 average. And he watches strike 1.
And Navarro offensively is 2 for 28 on the season. But when you talk to the White Sox people, what they'll say is he's still a very valuable part of the team because the pitchers love to throw to him. He's evidently one of those guys that knows how to handle a pitching staff, works with the pitchers well, inspires confidence, motivates them. And so if you can accomplish that as a catcher, then that's your main contribution. If that's your main contribution to the team, that's a very solid contribution. It's early in the season. It's not many at-bats. His offense will come around and approach what it's always been. But the value that he seems to bring to the party as a guy that works with the pitching staff, pretty valuable.
And the most astounding part of that story may well be what we'll see on Sunday, which is Matt Latos, who has been the story for the White Sox this month of April. Breaking ball, and it's a full count on Navarro. We'll have to do some research on this to get the numbers correct, but it was suggested that Latos' almost unthinkable career turnaround this year is largely due to his relationship with Navarro behind the plate. Here's Latos. What a ridiculous start he has had to this season. Payoff pitch. And a bouncer into that shift. Odor with plenty of time, and they retire Navarro to end the inning. Couple of walks. They don't hurt Wilhelmsen. Last chance for the Rangers coming up top of the order. Due up in the ninth, trailing 5-0. Contend with Zach Putnam, the right-hander who has come on for the White Sox. And, Putnam, like just about everybody else in this bullpen, has thrown the ball very well this year in his 4 games. Opponent's hitting just .211 against him. Chance for him to get a little work in, working with a 5-run lead. White Sox had, let's say, 3 shutouts coming in, which was noteworthy for them at this point of the season. First time since 1972 that they had posted as many as 3 shutouts in the first 16 games of the season. You could argue the game was played a little bit differently back in 1972. Back when you might expect a handful of shutouts.
Yeah, I would say the ball in 1972 was not as lively as the ball today. Not that it's exceptionally lively today, but boy, I can remember balls in 1972 that the guys were just teeing off on, and they weren't going anywhere. Back in the early 70s, maybe 1973, Jeff Burroughs hit a ball in Minnesota that you could tell he had a good swing. It sounded great coming off the bat, and it looked funny going out to the outfield. And I can't remember the left fielder. It might have been Larry Heisel. Caught the ball in left field, took the ball out of his glove and kind of looked at it as he trotted it in, and then tossed it to somebody, and it had ripped part of the cover off the ball. Like 15 or 20 stitches had come apart when he hit the ball. Now, he hit the ball hard, but you can't hit a good ball hard enough to knock part of the cover off. And back then, I think they were having some problems with quality control of the baseball. There were plenty of times where it felt like you hit a mush ball. It didn't go anywhere.
On the Shields, a strikeout victim to begin play in the ninth, and now Andrews pops one up into right field, 2 away. Just like that, they're down to their final out tonight. That'll get them up here at U.S. Cellular, 15,486 the attendance on this Friday evening. The White Sox came into play a half game back of Kansas City in the Central Division. And strike 1 delivered to fielder. Big shift on the infield. Right fielder to pull it. He does, right over the shift.
Not much you can do about that. It's about as far as you can play out there and still have time to throw the guy out at first base on a ground ball. But Prince still was able to hook it right over his head. A couple of good at-bats for Prince his last 2 times up. A double that short hopped the wall. Now a line drive just over the leaping Lowry in right field.
Well, 2-hit night for Fielder. Now Beltre, 2 for 3 this evening. It's 1-1. Well, both starters tonight pitched well. Jose Quintana, 7 shutout innings for the White Sox. Turn it over to his bullpen. Matt Albers, a perfect 8th inning, and now Zach Putnam, who's given up the 2-out hit to Fielder. Two and 1. Fielder and Beltre to this point are combined 4 for 7. The rest of the Rangers lineup, 1 hit and 21 at bats. The 2-1 just missed. Roughly 15,000 saw that differently than did Alfonso Marquez.
Well, I'll say this for Alfonso Marquez. He hasn't called that a strike, but he's been consistent. When it's down there, it's not a strike. If you raise it up an inch or 2 and get a little higher in the strike zone, he has been calling it a strike. So it's not like he's guessing on those pitches and they're haphazard. When it's just touching the zone down there, it's a ball. When he gets it up and it's a few inches into the strike zone, it's a strike. So I'll definitely give him credit for being very consistent in that regard. You know, we're on Alfonso a little bit because Martin Perez was picking that lower part of the strike zone and not getting the call. But the way he's defined the lower part of the strike zone tonight has been consistent. Obviously, when it's your pitcher throwing the ball down there, you want those borderline pitches to go your way.
Right, and it felt much more obvious to us because it's where Martin Perez likes to live.
Yeah, that's what he needs to be successful, is for those pitches to be strikes.
3-2. Beltre's had a couple of extended at-bats tonight. It was an 8-pitch at-bat in the 4th inning. Singles in the 2nd and in the 7th. This one should do it. Saladino across the diamond. That's the 4th shutout of the year for the White Sox, who continue really an impressive run as a pitching staff. Most in Major League Baseball. 4 out of 17 games as they blank the Rangers 5-0 tonight. We'll be back to wrap it up in just a moment.